album concept hour. The album concept hour. It's the album concept hour. So, welcome everybody to the album concept hour. I am your host, Bradley Barron, as I have been all of these seasons, and
always and forever. Every episode.
This is right after our October extravaganza that we are talking right now. I should probably mention that. That's when this is happening. So we've done our October episodes. It was very spooky. It was very fun. We had some great guests. We had some good times. We got spooked, and now we're getting back into actually another pretty scary album, honestly. This would have fit right in with October, honestly. If I would have paid more attention to the lyrics when I was younger, it might have been in the October bit of stuff. So I think we're just going to extend this horror theme as long as we can. But I am here with my co-host, of course, John Aker. How's it going, John?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Just pretty chilling.
Thanks for coming in on this emo
worries,
adventure.
No worries, man. You know, I'm here for it. I'm always here for it, my friend.
And today we have a very special guest that I met by happenstance on the emo subreddit. There was a thread going on about the album a Trainwreck, and I was just like, hey, does anyone here want to talk about this on a podcast? Like, preferably if you have your own podcast, as well, and you're already doing this, DM me. And you DM'd me, and this is Sean from the Killer Pod from Outer Space, here to talk about Boys Not Trainwreck with us. Welcome, Sean.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. You probably didn't know what to expect when you got messaged by Poop Feast on Reddit, but
well, it's Reddit, so I mean, I've almost grown numb to those sort of things. It's like, okay, he's probably got a good head on his shoulders if it's Poop Feast.
I think I came up with that when I was 15, and I'm in my 30s, and I'm still going by the same childish name. But
whatever works. But that's your handle for browsing the emo board, I guess.
Oh yeah, the dark channels of the web. Yeah. If you see me, give me a shout.
The dark web,
the deep dark web of Reddit. So Boys Night Out, though, Trainwreck is what kind of brought us together, though. There was just a lot of people nostalgizing over it, and it just got me to remembering how much I enjoyed this when I was super young. And let's just start out there with one of our two main questions we always ask. What were your musical beginnings, and was this a part of it at all? I'm not sure how old you are, but
yeah, I'm 33.
Okay,
so
okay.
This was in my prime emo.
Yeah.
Long hair.
I am as 33 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So this hit right around that I don't know, early high school, late middle school kind of days.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
For me, I think my musical journey started when I was younger. I have an older brother who's 5 years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when he came home with Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory.
Ooh,
great album.
I do enjoy that. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
Me too.
Yeah.
And the other big one at the time was Green Day's Dookie.
I
think those really, I mean, I was only 6 or 7 or
that's
whenever those
a great
came out.
combination.
And Duke, you were able to Dookie resonated with you.
I don't know that I quite appreciated it at the time, but my brother thought it was cool and his friends thought it was cool. So I was like, oh, this album is awesome. And that stuck with me. That whole punk rock, I mean, still today is still what I listen to.
It's amazing what attaches to you when you're young. You know what I mean? Sometimes all you have to do is feel the rhythm, just to have that become part of your psyche as a child,
Yeah.
The funny thing about that is he listens to the Grateful Dead now. He doesn't listen to punk rock. He doesn't have a punk rock bone in his body. I took a piece of it and went off on my own path.
Mm-hmm.
That's like music lovers' retirement is the Grateful Dead. I feel like, it's like I just don't want to deal with the massive amount of music there is. I'm just gonna do jam bands.
Yeah,
it's one song, that goes on for hours.
Yeah. Song that never ends. Almost like in this album, actually. That's ironically what the album's about. So your brother kind of shepherded you into the music that you ended up enjoying.
Yeah, he had one other one in his collection, which I think I found after he went off to college.
Yeah.
And it was NoFX S&M Airlines.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a stewardess in lingerie riding an airplane on the front cover, which is probably the only reason he bought it, because I doubt he ever listened to it. But I loved it, and that set me on a deeper dive into punk rock.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, NoFX is the. I mean, I didn't know that at the time, but they are definitely one of the like pillars of that community.
Oh yeah.
With like Fat Mike and stuff. So, cool. Then, did you continue with the punk rock stuff, or is the emo stuff where you kind of turned a corner?
Yeah, I listened to all of it at the time. I listened to more. I guess I listen to hardcore and metal these days, but I still listen to emo and I don't know, country western and all sorts of different shit. So I'm definitely not defined by one genre.
Well, that's the great thing about like hardcore and metal and like punk and stuff is like no matter what year it is and where you are, if you are close to a big enough city, you're gonna find it.
Oh yeah. I just was out in Seattle last week and saw Gaslight Anthem and Tiger's Jaw, which is pretty cool.
Nice, man. I need to get out to some of these like awesome what are they called, legacy shows, I guess some people are calling them,
little reunion toury kind of.
I need to start getting out to some of these, because like I just heard part of the reason that I also got stoked about this is I listened to a podcast recently called General Admission. We're gonna have one of them on soon, and they had Ben Jorgensen from Armor for Sleep.
Sure.
And it was like a 40-something minute interview, and he gave such great context to the emo kind of time and how like it started off like a smaller kind of movement, as all things do, and then by the time like Armor for Sleep, for instance, was reaching their second album, there was the corporations trying to give them notes and being like, oh, we don't want a concept type of thing.
I was going to say that was a concept album, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
What You Do When You're Dead.
Yeah. One of the first ones that I remembered, honestly. Yeah.
I know they just came out with some new music. I caught one of the new singles, but I haven't listened to the full album yet.
Me too. I heard the single, and I'm definitely going to check the rest of it out. I'm just excited that they're just kind of letting him do what he did with the first album, because he's back on the same label again. Okay. And they basically were like, listen, like you can just do what you do. We will leave you alone. Just we want you to make another one.
Hell yeah.
That's what you're looking for as an artist,
Yeah, and
that kind
I think
of freedom.
That's the kind of stuff that like beside like that kind of ruined the emo stuff, as well as like one thing he said is that kind of became a joke to have that style or to sing that music for a time. It kind of was like cringy in some circles, and especially for me, I had like a kind of a chip on my shoulder because like no one around me, like when I moved up to like Madison, respected emo music. They're all about punk rock, they're all about metal, and they're all about the like that raw garage stuff. But like after hearing like Ben Jorgensen talk about it, I feel like I can take more pride in like there was some important stuff happening in a very specific kind of niche subculture, and it was important for a lot of people. So I've been listening to so much emo music the past week, man. Mars Volta, Armor for Sleep, we already mentioned. Brand new Bayside. I don't know if you were into Bayside, but
I was listening to a lot of Bayside around 2005. Also 2022, but 2005.
He's so pissed. He's so pissed. So, yeah, that's I'm getting my what am I listening to out way early on this episode, just because I
it just kind of happened.
It's been a fun week.
Sometimes that happens.
Sorry, I let it slip. But yeah,
that was great, man. Very nice.
Well, we have one segment we do here on season 4 of the Album Concept Hour before we get into our conversation about Boys Night Out, Trainwreck. We are going to go around and do our wiki facts. Wiki facts. Here's the theme. All right. So, we'll go around the horn and talk about our favorite facts about this band, or album. The band or album or genre in general. I think my favorite fact, I guess, was that. I mean, I don't know. This is a little surface, but they're from Canada. I had no idea that there was a strong emo thing going on in Canada, but I guess it makes sense. And then they signed to a label from New Jersey, as all good emo bands did back in the day.
Absolutely.
Which is what is that?
Trash Signs of Trash.
Ferret Records or something?
Yeah, they were on Ferret Music.
Yeah, Ferret Music. Yeah. Then we'll go over to our guest then, Sean. Do you have a wiki fact?
Yeah, so this album, a couple of years ago, they did a theatrical production of it.
Are you? Wait, what?
Yeah, they created a theater production. I want to say it was in like the Niagara Falls area,
God.
and
is there any video of this?
I don't know that.
Oh my God, this is like a Flaming Lips, fucking that one Tsushima Battles the Pink Robots.
Yeah.
Situation. They had a show. We never got to see it. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
I didn't know that. But one of my buddies from high school spent a lot of time, loved this album and was talking to Connor, the lead singer of the band, got in touch with him and got involved and starred in the production. I don't know how long it ran. I think it was a pretty minor thing, but his name's Andrew Pollack, and he starred in a production of they did Bat Out of Hell in London, so he's somewhat popular these days, but he starred in a production of Trainwreck for Boys Night Out.
There really needs to be like a underground bootleg situation.
I hope there is, man.
Because there's no way for some people to see these shows. No. They're usually one place in the world, played one time ever. You know, the least they could do is play it once on HBO or something. I don't know.
I'm sure there's got to at least be a video copy of it somewhere.
Yeah, but there
I'll
wasn't.
Send him a message. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, there wasn't for the Flaming Lips one though. I think I promised in the episode when we find this we're gonna cover it, and I was like, I see. This is not open to the public. Oh man, this would be really, really cool to see live though. I don't know if you
itself well to it.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard of the album Operation Mindcrime from.
I remember.
I remember now.
I remember how it started.
It's from the 80s. It's a hair metal band. I can't remember the name of it right now. Trainwreck.
Hey Brad, isn't there a what is that clip from that album? There is a
I don't
a certain thing.
Oh, are you talking about?
Madness!
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Let me find it.
Actually. I can't.
That's definitely not it, but I'll let it slide.
That works.
But no. This Operation Mindcrime, very similar thing as Boys Night Out, Trainwreck. But I almost forgot that we didn't finish this segment. John, what's your wiki facts?
Well, I don't really have any wiki facts, but I will say that when I listened to this album, it really and it wasn't a great version of it, but it really took me back to my pop punk days, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was like in high school, and I listened to it took my mind to a lot of different songs while I was listening to these.
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I saw the influence, whether it came from them, around them, you know,
a lot of really polished vocals.
Yeah,
which I really dug about all of the music.
Not enough bass in some parts, but otherwise it was good. You know. Mm-hmm. But that's really where it took me. You know?
Nice.
Right back to my pop punk days, and I always miss like my headbang and stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes you do just kind of wish you could just listen to pop punk and this stuff all the time, but then you remember that because of the subject matter, you can't necessarily do that. But yeah, that has been our wiki facts. I gotta make a shorter version of that. So we're gonna get right into this album. Like I said, it's kind of if anyone's heard our Queensryche Operation Mindcrime, well, we did both parts 1 and 2. They also have a live show, much like this one. They did a live show that you can find on YouTube for Operation Mindcrime. And the reason I bring that up is because it's about a person that is mentally unwell, going through the motions in a mental ward after having done horrible things that I won't spoil yet, but we'll get there very soon. And it's like a lot of emo albums of the time. It's really themed around like mental health and medicating and I don't know, the general kind of skepticism that there was in the emo music towards over medicating and over prescribing. But yeah, before we get too much into it though, here's the first little bit, and this will give us a little bit of backstory from the doctor's perspective of this patient.
Well, he's been released again today, and I'm back where I started, looking over old notes, listening to tapes, wondering how bad I potentially messed up this time. The wound seemed to be healing, and he seems to be getting along, without his appendages. And I know he seemed fine. Seems could be a very dangerous word, especially in this business. It can be fatal.
You don't really know what he's getting at without his appendages. They don't really.
I'm
they
leave
that
honest.
into the beginning.
I feel like I never heard that part until like this past listen through or whatever when I was looking at the lyrics, because I think I heard it, but I don't know. I was like, appendages. What is?
It's almost like you don't take it literally. You're like, that's not a literal thing.
Yeah, right. And lo and behold, he is missing appendages due to what happens in this album. I like that they leave it vague though in the first track. They just kind of lay out I have to let this dude out. He's seriously messed up, and I don't know if this is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when was the first time you heard this one?
I think I can't remember if I pre-ordered this, but I picked it up the day it came out.
Yeah.
There was a place, I grew up in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and there was a record shop, Siren Records, and I went out there.
Yeah.
I think this came out summer 2005.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
And I went and picked it up there and ran it through all the way as soon as I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just start to finish.
And
yeah,
and I don't remember loving it on the first go through because it wasn't what Make Yourself Sick was before this album.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It was a departure,
more considered and thought out than
way more refined.
Yeah. I mean, arguably the most refined of their entire discography. I don't know much about the later stuff, but I know that at least the next couple of efforts don't, aren't in the same vein,
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is I don't know. Everything about this album is a quintessential emo album,
Yeah, for me, it was taken up a little bit of a notch. I feel like a lot of their predecessors, well, their contemporaries were
Yeah.
singing about like violent crime, and they kind of did it the same way in some of their earlier work. But this one was the whole concept album, and crafting a story was definitely a step above
Mm-hmm.
what I felt like their contemporaries were doing at the time. But definitely in that same vein.
Well, yeah. Do you remember Census Fails Still Searching?
Sure.
It's got a very similar kind of subject matter,
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, they have similar subject matter. But like Census Fail is like it's all about anger, and it's never about contemplation at all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's always out, like pushing the problems outward.
Yeah, I think I wrote down in my notes. He makes it very clear that none of this is his fault. When I was reading through the lyrics, like
Well,
this was
yeah,
something that was done to him. He didn't do this.
Yeah, which is very confusing, considering what happens. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about all of this, honestly, but I love it.
I'm not sure exactly what what they were trying to the story they were trying to tell.
Yeah. I feel like it might be one of those. I mean, I know that it comes from a like story that I think one of them was a short story. One of them like had or was working on, and then it got kind of built into this. So yeah, I don't know. It does. It reads kind of like one of those no sleep posts or something, like one of those creepy stories you read online where the morals are completely ambiguous, and it's like you're just kind of left feeling like, oh fuck, like sometimes things are just messed up.
Yeah, sometimes you invite your friends and family over and you want to poison them for dinner.
Yeah. That happens in this album.
Put the hand in the jello.
not to spoil it entirely, but yeah.
But we should get into. Speaking of all this, we're like dancing around. Let's get into the next track. Dreaming.
Let's dance right into the next track.
Oh yeah. There's a song going on throughout this album, and right now he's dreaming. So here it is, Dreaming. Yeah, dreaming.
I definitely had "We Are Inseparable" in an aim away message at some point back in 2005.
Oh my god, yes. That's the thing. I one of the things I appreciate about this point in kind of sad boy culture, I guess we'll call it, is that at this point culture. Like it's like, okay, you see people have similar kind of viewpoints today, but are so much more toxic because of the cesspool of the internet kind of feedback loop. Whereas like back then, like as some people pointed out on a few videos, like people were kind of disjointed and dealing with their own things.
You had to deal with it yourself.
And then they grew and then like became different people and didn't stay in it.
Yep.
Whereas like there's a real kind of
community culture.
Well, there's like some dudes out there that just refuse to grow up at all. Like you the guys that I'm talking about.
And they form a community culture of that.
Yeah,
and then you breed your own like sadness, kind of.
Yeah, but it I don't know. It can be I don't know what I'm getting at here.
It's hard. It's hard. Human life's hard. Life's hard. Everybody's different, and life's hard.
Especially for this patient right here. This track.
The most toxic thing that was going on back then was whether or not you were on somebody's like top 8 on their MySpace profile.
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't there weren't memes being co-opted by bad figures or some shit. It's just weird now. But so this one really kind of gets into this is like the real introduction. I know the first track was called Introducing, but this is where you really get to the introduction to the story, because you kind of let's see, do you know by the end of it. You can kind of guess maybe by the end of it what's happening here. But essentially, he has somehow killed her in his sleep. Like, and he had like some kind of crazy nightmares, and he wakes up and she is already gone. And this is kind of him just kind of in denial, trying to he's screaming, "Wake up!" He doesn't understand what's happened. He says this coma kiss is infinite, like referring to it as a coma. Even is like, not trying not to accept, the reality of the situation. And this is where the song kind of starts in his head.
Yeah, this is the one that ends with someone call an ambulance because something's not right, which is a callback to I think the song was "Yeah, No, I Know" on the previous album.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So
that's actually tie-in.
Yeah, that's if you want like a maybe a prequel to this album, it's a nice. It is kind of a similar subject matter in that song too. It's fucking. You read the lyrics, it's heart-wrenching. It's just like this is like the most awful thing that could happen to you. And and this is part of the reason I said it reminded me of Operation Mindcrime. This sort of thing happens near the end of Operation Mindcrime. Spoiler alert, he was set up. Well, I guess Operation Mindcrime 2 makes it a
best
little bit,
crimes always are.
Yeah, the ones that are operations anyway. Great track. I want to just say a little bit about the production. That's one of the things I like about emo in general is like the production is at a pretty good level because people have access to pretty good tools. Everyone's kind of got little studios, starting to make little studios.
People have access to the Pro Tools.
Yeah, Pro Tools.
Yeah. I think I wrote the producer down. Machine, I think.
Yeah, something Machine. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, he did some other pretty popular shit at the time. I know he did.
Machine
That's pretty
Freeman.
cool.
Yeah. I know he was on. He did some Every Time I Die, Lamb of God, Armor for Sleep. I don't know, some other popular acts.
Very nice.
Okay, I was gonna say the Armor for Sleep. That's the one thing. Like I can really hear that connection in this album.
Yeah.
Like this is like a more like I don't know, mathy Armor for Sleep type album to me. It's because they're not being really mathy, but there's like definitely doing a few weird time signatures and switch ups,
finger picking, and a lot of. I wrote that like the guitar work and it's like dueling vocal melodies with some interesting guitar work. It starts on this song.
There's a lot of rhythm to the lyrics and the guitar work, and one thing I noticed when I was watching the music video for Medicating, which is coming up in a few tracks, is it looked like for the most part he was just using both of his fingers on the neck, like he was just pushing down notes. He didn't look like he was even strumming a whole lot. So I think his pattern is maybe finger picking on the neck of an electric guitar or something. I don't know. But
he definitely did a lot of that on this, and I want to say he did he was the only guitarist on this album, I think.
Oh shit! Well, yeah,
I think he did all of it.
I think because there's a couple keyboardists, I believe. This one, the personnel we got is Dave Costa on bass, Jeff Davis on guitar, vocals, and group vocals, Connor Lovat Frazier on vocals, Kara Dupy on keyboard and group vocals, and Brian Southall on drums and group vocals. And and not even looks like not even guest musicians did guitar. So all the guitar looks like it's him.
I think he did a lot of the writing. When you were saying he had a short story, I think it was Jeff Davis.
Yeah, that would make sense. Looks like it's somewhere on this page. I will get back to y'all. But we have another track for you guys. We have the third track, Waking, which is it progresses. This one's pretty, like, as far as concept albums goes, This one's pretty straightforward. So here is Waking.
Because I really can't believe that she's gone. Make this a dream because I really can't believe that she's gone. I'm not here and this isn't happening. Make this a dream because I really can't believe that she's gone. And she'll be next to me.
Yeah, man. And continuing kind of the denial and panic, you know. This one really, I'll be honest, I think this one really hit me different this time because I am someone that struggles with anxiety quite a bit, you know, and this is like the worst possible like anxiety a trip you could possibly go on. like just the thought of it like made me feel a little anxious like jumping into the song. I'm like, oh my god, like because he puts it so well, like he's, you know, marvel at this madman, at this makeshift monster, as this makeshift monster rips through the room, watch in fear as he comes completely unglued, gaze in horror and amazement for a frightening instant as he christens the wall with broken bottles of perfume. Like, just
it's so descriptive.
Yeah. It's
like I wrote it. It's like alliteration. Like a lot of wordplay on this song.
Yeah. And this is part of the reason I think that emo music really like hit me when I was growing up, you know, like I needed this, like these people that were kind of in a similar headspace as I was.
Thought-provoking?
Yeah. I was like, you know, oh, well, at least I'm not this guy on this album, you know.
Just in denial, he woke up and killed his wife.
Yeah. You know, that's pretty bad. You know, I just can't get a girlfriend. You know,
the Nile ain't just a river in Africa. You know?
right. So yeah, it's a really tough stuff here. If you do struggle with that, yeah. And I don't even know that he fully understands that he did it. Yeah. Now, okay.
Full denial.
So, okay. Is this... So some people say
brain
that
stuff's weird.
He starts with this... He cuts off his hands after he kills his wife, so he doesn't do it again, right? I'm jumping the gun here, but...
Yeah, he didn't cut off his hands yet.
Okay. Then the Wikipedia description is very misleading. It really like bundles that together like it happened at the same time.
I think he gets.
Sorry, spoiler alert, guys.
Yes, but
he chops off his freaking hands.
Yeah, the lines he wears around his wrists are not for fun.
Yeah. He's got like these dotted lines that he's made. Apparently, you find out later around his wrists. Yeah. He's unwell. Let's just say that. Fucking yeah. This is a tough one. The just over and over saying, "Make this a dream because I really can't believe that she's gone," is such a it's such a genuine cry for help. You know?
Yeah, I'm not here, and this isn't happening.
Yeah. Full denial. Fully like this is I do not accept reality. Like this is, and you know, which obviously leads to kind of what we're going to get into in the next couple of tracks here. This next track we have for you is Sentencing.
That's a nice little riff you got there at the end.
Yeah, right.
They hide a lot of shit behind a really nice melody.
They do. Like he's just constantly noodling back there.
That is a very nice like pop punk melody.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. This one they really they do good. They're really good at choruses. I think.
Yeah.
You know, they really bring out the choruses. And this one's got a weirdly positive message that I captured in this clip here.
Oh, yeah.
Besides the fact that he is sentencing, referring to the fact that he's being sentenced after killing his wife, being picked up by the police. But it's also the line there is hold on, I can't remember. One second. So a sick and guilty man will be born again with conscience saved, which is like, it's a pretty positive outlook on the first of all judicial system, and second of all medical field. You know, he's what I'm saying, I guess, is he's not like what like a lot of the emo bands do is they like throw like medical professions under the bus in general, you know, and they just make it seem like any sort of like mental health people are all kind of out to get you or something. Which I think this album does not. You know, this album clearly, like, the Doctor isn't he's not a villain character. You know, he's kind of the kind of moral conscience of this one. But yeah, Senses Fail, for instance, they're like, I don't know if he had a doctor in the family that he hated or something, but he really fucking hates therapists and doctors. Like, he's pretty clear about it.
He is not about that life.
Yeah. He tries it, I guess, but he just fucking hates it the entire time. I don't know if it was mandated or what, but
it's hard, you know. It's hard to talk about yourself, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And he clearly has demons. The Senses Fail guy. I don't want to minimize that, but I feel like
that's why you're supposed to go to therapy.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's like, never mind. We're gonna do Still Searching one day. Well, we will get there because I feel like Still Searching is like the lesser version of this in a lot of ways.
Listen, this has helped me soul search a lot, though. By the way, as a format, I have loved doing this. But anyways,
you learn a lot. You look at these lyrics, look at these lines that these random people have written down. Knowing sometimes that they might not ever see the light of day.
Well, it's because it's almost like a surgical like analysis of like life, you know, especially with the fact that we've done everything, you know. So
yeah, definitely. We've been dissecting all sorts of stuff.
Anyways,
sentencing though. So this is kind of I wrote down, this is kind of an exposition dump of the album. It really kind of brings you up to kind of the first tracks, what's going on with the Doctor, you know, everything's kind of tying together. You know, the Doctor's introduced in this part. As the Doctor's read his case, there were implausibilities he couldn't place. It was obvious there was something that was more to this patient. Something had been missed. It's this hole I can see in each of his eyes, where all the events that happen in this real world just kind of fall through. It's loneliness.
That comes back around, I think, later on.
Yeah.
The Doctor knows that this dude's got issues beyond just killing his wife when he was asleep. Like, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah. I think one thing that they don't really touch on, but you could kind of infer, is that he is schizophrenic and experiencing the like first major schizophrenic event in his life, you know, because that's something that like you can be fairly, you know, without any sort of outward appearances of it, and then in your like early to mid 20s, it really it shows up. So yeah, that's at least how I read it, because he's very much showing all of those kinds of you know. Not being able, you know, having a different reality, you know, just the fact that he did murder his wife in a, you know, a dream state, you know, those are the kind of things that make me think like, he's definitely suffering from.
It definitely tracks.
A really serious mental illness is
something's going on here.
Speaking of mental illness, this next track gets right into that. This is Medicating. So I believe this is like, let's just say this is like a year, maybe like months down the road or something. Because we'll talk about it in a second.
Doctor, what am I here for? Can't you see that I don't need that place? I don't
There's that noodling again. I gotta say, it's pretty bold of him to ask the doctor, "What am I here for?" Right? Like, motherfucker, you know why you're here.
I mean, he
killed your wife.
Yeah.
But like, I guess, you know, he's in a altered mental state or whatever.
Altered mental state.
But yeah, it is a pretty.
It is fucked up.
Yeah,
though,
it's pretty bold of him to be like, "Let me out. I'm fine."
No, I won't kill nobody else. I just killed her. We're good.
I don't know if I should trust that.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here, guys?
What's going on here? What are we talking about now?
But first of all, though, great chorus though. One of my favorite in the album. This is like
it's a banger. It's a banger.
It's a banger. It is a banger. It really is. This is what they had the music video for. And don't look like typical emo fellas, I gotta say. Lead singer's got some curly kind of medium hair, not rocking the emo sway or straight hair thing. I think only the bass player was looking really like style wise emo, you know. But yeah, this is his time at the home where he's been admitted.
Well, this song is so incredibly upbeat for his reality,
right?
And I feel like that just tells you about what his headspace was,
what his mental state is.
Yeah, that is
like his mental state is. It's so upbeat and positive, even though like, what are we doing here?
He doesn't even understand. He's so happy she's gone.
You know, I don't know if I really have been catching that aspect of it, but you're right. It's like a child. He's got like a childlike detachment. It's almost like everyone else is experiencing this loneliness and
he's
understanding.
Just like, I'm ready to live my life again.
I got my medication. Yeah. I'm ready to go.
I'm done.
He convinces all of them he's not a threat anymore. He's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess this is mainly him like kind of talking himself back up, which you know. Someone that's mentally unwell can do. You know,
it's fucked up though, but it's like some people, like for some people that just would be the solution. And we can't go around murdering each other. That's not good society.
No.
But it's like sometimes if you could just murder that one person, you know, you don't want to, and we shouldn't. We are not here at the album concept hour advocating murder
what kind of
at
podcast
all.
Is this?
But everyone
go
has
out and
the
murder
thought,
your enemies.
You know,
the album concept
there's
hour
that
deems
one
it so.
person in your life, you know, and sometimes you never know.
It's like that Weird Al lyric we covered a few weeks back from the Horoscopes one. All your friends are laughing behind your back. Kill them.
See, like you know, like that. Yeah, that can drive people to insanity.
So yeah, I think that this guy took that literally. He heard that Weird Al song and he was like, "Oh, really? Okay, I will kill them." Thank you, Weird Al. This is all Weird Al's fault.
I cannot wait for the Weird Al Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so good.
I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna see how cringe it is.
That's one of the few movies in recent years that I am actually legitimately excited for. I think.
Yeah.
I'll go see that.
Well, he's involved.
I fucking love Weird Al.
Yeah.
Weird Al.
Weird Al's involved, so it's gonna be good, and it's supposed to be semi-fictional. You know, which means there's gonna be.
I'm expecting big UHF vibes. I'm expecting this basically to be UHF 2.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Did you guys ever see Weird Al in concert? Not to.
I saw him recently. Actually, I saw him on this most recent tour that he's on. Actually, still. He played all originals and a few covers afterward, like of one Neil Young song. It was awesome. Puts on.
I want to say I might have seen him around this time, 05, 04.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was just incredible.
Yeah. He always puts on. I mean, I saw him when I was a kid, and he was putting on an amazing show, and he has not slowed down at all. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
But as far as our patient here goes, needless to say, he convinces the doctor to let him out. And considering the next couple tracks are purging and relapsing, we'll see how that goes. But we're going to listen to one more track and talk about it, and then go on a quick break, and then we'll get into the second half. But yeah, this next track for you is Purging.
Perfect picture of complacency, that's all I feel. Slow motion replaces real time as the horror fills their eyes. These boys will never kill again. I will about myself. Don't prove that I am done.
That was every phase of emo pop in like one 15-second clip.
Yeah, no, that's just
nice work, Bo did.
Yeah, nice work, Boys Night Out. You know,
wow.
they're really capturing
nice work,
this
Boys
scene.
Night Out. That was every phase from the start to the end.
Yeah,
you got
that's
every
very true.
little like you got the soft spoken into the hard. You got then you get some more, and then you got the scream. You got everything.
Yeah,
that was great. Great clip.
Yeah,
great clipping.
Is that the first screaming we hear on the album?
I think so.
I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
it's an immediate turn.
Yeah.
From the last like 5 tracks, where now it's a little dissonant, and you can tell his headspace is a little fucked up.
Yeah. You think purging refers to the medication, maybe?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, because that's something that can happen is you ditch the meds and then you find yourself in a bad mental state again because they were actually helping maybe. Obviously,
and this is where he decides to draw the lines, and he's removing himself of his weapons, really.
Yeah. So here's one thing I was wondering, like, I don't know, he talks like he's going to kill again, like, which makes me kind of wonder, like, has he killed before, like, was the wife the first situation? Because, like, he seems so certain that he's going to kill again. It almost seems like, I don't know.
It couldn't have just been the first time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got the feeling that maybe I read it. I read it wrong the first time, but I thought I read that he was. Let's see. The first night after release, no one expects you to get to sleep.
I wrote down he cuts off his hand so he can never kill again.
Yeah, that's true. Because he goes up to work and goes to the shop. That's right. He sets up shop. He goes. He goes to the setup shop at the machine, calibrate, and then. Here lies clarity in a perfect grave comprised of perfect steel. The perfect blade glows a perfect white against the perfect lines from this perfect night. I'm the perfect picture of complacency, and that's all I feel. So, Then he cuts off his arms, and all of his coworkers are like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Wow, that
escalated quickly.
Yeah, very much so.
A lot of vivid imagery in this one.
Yeah. That's the thing. Again, this is a pretty straightforward concept album as far as that goes. Like, I guess when I was thinking about it when I was a kid, I think I was making a lot of assumptions. I was putting a lot of my own stuff in it and not really paying attention to these finer details. But it is kind of like a short story, and you can just read the lyrics, honestly, if you want. It's kind of like the Mars Volta D. Louse and the Comatorium. That kind of reminded me of this one a little bit too, in that there's a mental patient in various states of reality.
Those ones are a little tougher to read.
Yeah, much, yeah.
That more abstract.
That album is a fucking labyrinth. Like, oh my God. I'm almost afraid to go back to the Mars Volta again because, like, that one was just. It was by the end of it, my mind was just what the fuck?
Yeah, melted.
What the fuck? But so I appreciate albums like this every now and again that are a little more like this is a story that I am telling, and I don't want you to look deeper into it or whatever. Like this is the story I'm telling. This is he's putting it all the information out there. Great track though. This album, by the way, I've joked about it a few times, but I think you can kind of think of it as one continuous song in a lot of ways. There's definitely a few connecting tracks. I have one connecting track that I'll show later, but yeah, that will play. I bring it up because that will play into the themes in the second half of the album. That this is a continuous song that we're hearing. But before we get into that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we have some relapsing, some recovering, and then some composing before the rest. But we will be right back with the Album Concept Hour. So, welcome back, everybody, to the Album Concept Hour. We are back talking about some Boys Night Out Trainwreck, and we are here with Sean from the Killer Pod from Outer Space. Now, what exactly is the Killer Pod from Outer Space? What are you guys talking about over there?
So, primarily, we go over mostly not B horror movies, but horror movies that people aren't super familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I mean, we've done lists in the past where we talk about shit like Halloween and Friday the 13th, but a lot of times, all of us subscribe to Shudder, which I don't know if you guys, it's a streaming service.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah.
It's got a lot of great horror content on it, and I, over the last year or so, I've subscribed, and I'm watching a lot of stuff I never have before. So we talk a lot about movies on there.
Yeah.
A lot of 80s schlock movies that have
that's great.
Yeah.
That have fallen off the radar. And a lot of the guys are really into Blu-rays and, collecting shit that's not widely distributed. So we talk about that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like we live at a time where now some of those weird B movies are being like remastered and put onto Blu-ray.
People are seeing them for the first time in 30 plus years.
Yeah, and in like insane definition that no one had ever seen it before.
Never meant to be seen so well.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. I have to imagine that job is fun. Well, hopefully they're getting paid.
Well, you get to see a lot of 80s people that bring them back, and that's just great in itself. You know?
Yeah.
I remember
it's a very magical.
There's this one movie I saw once that was like true 80s schlock, and it was like a movie about like traffic school. And it had like the third Murray brother, like Bill Murray's youngest brother.
The one that was doing the Puxatawny Phil stuff. And,
And he was like the youngest year, and he was in that movie, and it had the where's the beef lady too,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's.
Sure, this wasn't a dream?
No. I remember watching because my brother-in-law loves this movie. Yeah, he loves 80s schlock.
Yeah. That sounds interesting.
Called like Traffic School or something like.
I mean,
that.
I
would love. It was a real funny,
maybe a side
movie,
to the
it's good stuff.
The Police Squad universe or something.
Yeah. It's like in the same universe, the same like comedy universe as that.
Yeah. I dig it. So if you guys wanted to listen to these guys, where do they find you? Quick. We'll say it again at the end, but
I'm pretty sure we're anywhere you could find a podcast, Spotify and Apple, but Instagram is where we are primarily. Killer Pod from Outer Space. You can find us on there.
Yeah. Well, guys, check it out. We have our own horror podcast on the network, Through the Fog. It's a bunch of like no sleep type stories that my friend kind of creates a ambiance to and everything. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm very much
you're starting your own little grim stories like podcast.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's really good.
No, you know what I mean? Like he went around and like but like that was like horror like stories.
It's weird though, because me personally though, like I came very, very late to the horror game. So I haven't seen most of the important horror films. So I like to learn about them and through podcasts like that, through like Red Letter Media, because if I had, I don't know, a podcast where I had to, I'd probably watch more of them, maybe I need a guest on horror podcasts, and that's how I will like see all of these movies.
I'll talk to the boys. We'll get you on.
All right. Yeah. Let's talk some scary stuff. Yeah. But yeah, we got speaking of scary stuff, we have more of this album. This patient is out in the world. He has when we left our hero, he had chopped off his hands at work and traumatized his coworkers. And this next track is Relapsing.
Last call at the hospital, you slept through it all. And these four walls warn you that this surgery might not be the key to fix the memory.
So this was hearing this song, doing the preparation for this was the first time I realized the dude cut off his hands ever. So I was looking at some notes. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. And then I look back at the first track and I'm like, wait, without his appendages. Wait, hold up. Like, it was just this whole, like,
what is happening?
I'm just going back through, like, notes, going back through, like, lyrics on previous tracks. I'm like, wait, hold up. Why did this happen? But yeah, yeah. This is the part where he's out at a, I think he's out at a bar or something, just kind of
chilling,
drinking away, is medicating in a different way. You know,
he's medicating in the normal way.
Brad. Yeah.
Listen, we have to. It is the normal way.
Well, yeah, but I won't say it's the healthy
legal way.
I won't say it's the healthy way.
Of course, it's not. That is not. None
it is
of
the
it's
legal
healthy.
way, though.
You got to get by.
Healthy.
You got to get by.
Weed's
get
pretty
by.
healthy, but like the rest of it,
that's true. This guy, what this guy needed is a nice nug of green.
You know, and that's like that. But we're not there.
Well,
yet
it wasn't
as a
legal in the
society.
2000s. We really weren't there yet. Most places. So it wasn't an option.
But you know what is an option? Alcohol.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
All across the
Sponsored
country.
by Bud Light.
Once you're 21
yes.
years.
Yeah. If David, if one of our co-hosts is here, we have a drinking segment, but Dave is not here today. He's still on assignment.
Yes.
But last call at the hospital. You slept through it all. This is the part that we picked. There is sung by what's her name?
Yeah, I heard some female vocals. That was nice.
Cara DuPoy or Cara?
Flipping through the notes. Cara something. I can't pronounce her last name.
Looking her up, I couldn't find anything else about her. No other credits, no other...
Yeah, I know. I think maybe
which is surprising.
No,
really...
IMDM, IMDb? Yes.
I don't think so. No.
I thought she was really good on this track too. Both keyboards and the vocals were good.
Well, yeah, she's not. Doesn't look like she's on the next album. So
no, she was not a member of the band at the time. I think they brought her on for this album.
Like they met her during the production of this, I believe, and added her to the mix because, well, I mean, yeah, she adds something to the album that kind of, isn't there without it. Without her,
she's the voice of the wife.
Yeah, and it's a really like great like part. I don't know. It's a really like good like male female vocal track which you don't get.
And that was really in the style at the time too. You know, because like you even heard that from like Evanescence.
That's true. That's true. Evanescence had that going on.
That was a real. It's always been a thing, you know. But it's like that was.
Well, yeah. I think one of the things I read was that they were, in particular, they kind of wanted to have a few like Fleetwood Mac type tracks for live.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
There you go.
I figured you'd appreciate that.
Yeah. That is what you do. Then.
Yeah. And this definitely fills that void. But
I saw them with her, and I want to say it was like Warped Tour. If this came out 2005, it was probably a couple weeks after this album came out.
That had to be a real short, like small window.
Within 2 weeks maybe afterwards.
Yeah, because like like you were saying, I don't think she comes back ever.
No.
We won't speculate as to what happened. I'm
But
sure
she
everything
did a great
was
job
fine.
on this song.
But she kills it in this song.
Kills it.
I really think that like this shows that she adds something to the group, especially. So
especially because we picked it for our clip, so something stood out.
Yeah, and this is when there's a chorus going on too in the background. I always love that with this kind of music. I'm not a fan of like chorus vocals of the like, let's say 2010s. In the 2010s, pop music kind of went overboard with chorus vocals.
Yeah,
and I got sick of them. But this is long before people were over fucking doing the chorus vocals.
Yeah, it's 2005.
Yeah. Group vocals, I guess is what I mean. But yeah, so this is I believe this is at him at the hospital after he has I think cut off his arms or his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so maybe this technically takes place between track 6 and 7?
Betwixt?
Because like relapsing was when he was hold on, I think I might be crossing my
line. We're still on relapsing. Yeah,
we're still on relapsing.
Yeah, this is him. Yeah, this is him waking up in the hospital and still kind of
dealing
still little
with
denials.
I think he goes to the bar at some point. Does he go to the bar?
Is he dealing with his life yet?
Well, I definitely mentioned last call.
That's true. That's probably what made me think that. Okay. And this is what introduces kind of that weird element you were talking about earlier, where he's like, he kind of rids himself of any sort of responsibility in what haped.
Yeah, this is the one he calls himself the firing pin, right?
I'm just
the messenger.
Then the question is the trigger, and I'm just the firing pin, and I'm just a messenger doomed to detonate on delivery. So he's weirdly he's disassociating even more, I guess, from where he was before. Like he's going from catatonic to catatonic and not accepting. I don't know. I guess it's just further denial in a way, but. What am I talking
about? But now he's just like
he's just like a normal human being.
He's a dude. He's a guy that went through some stuff, and he cut off his hands like all of us do.
He came out the other side.
He came out the other side, kind of. I don't know. I don't have too much more to say about this.
Definitely lost some bits of you,
but yeah. My wife loves this song, and I'm like, have you listened to it? Did you read the lyrics? You love it?
Yeah.
I do. It's great. It's a great song.
I definitely, again, this is definitely one of the ones that I was just jamming on, like, oh, yeah, cool.
It's one of those songs. Every band has one of those songs.
I never knew that he cut his arms off, so, like,
nobody really knows what you're talking about, but it's a jam.
I mean,
it is a jam.
It is a jam.
I had thought that this all took place in the mental asylum. That's what I think I had assumed when I had originally heard it. I didn't know that there was like half of it that was in the regular world outside of the asylum.
Of course not.
Yeah.
They thought it was a good idea. Why would you assume? Twice.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the way that he's experiencing the world doesn't seem like normal people experience the world. But this next track we got for you is a little track we got called Recovering. That's so it's so dark. I feel like when I hear that line especially, it makes me think of like seriously think of like, homeless folk out there that are dealing with like mental issues that no one cares to consider.
And that's so much more of the population of homeless than like they ever wanted.
Yeah, that's a big, that's a large chunk of them is people that can't, be in society,
contribute to society. So
they can't
cast them aside.
So yeah, I feel like at this point, like he's become that person in society. He's become that, that guy that can't fit anywhere because he's mentally unwell. He doesn't have hands, so he can't work. So he's disabled then. Yeah, he's having a bad time. And ironically, this is called Recovery, though. This is maybe the most ironic. Yeah.
He's not really recovering from much.
No. Yeah, I feel like they're being cheeky here. They're being a little cheeky with this song title.
And he spells out his descent, I think, into the next song. He says, but they start talking about the song in his head, and he says the perfect song will call for sedative, sacrifice, and sing-alongs, which is basically what the rest of the album is.
Yeah.
And I never caught that before until this last listen through when I was reading it. I was like, oh shit, he tells you what's going to happen.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like we were saying, it's a very concise concept album. Like he knows where it's going. Like he knows where it's going to end,
He's already full descent into madness here.
Yeah. And this is, we still have 4 more tracks. Yeah, like normally this might be the end of a lesser emo band's concept album. You know what I mean? Like his just descent into madness and obscurity. But
he's going the whole way.
He's going the whole 9 yards.
He's still getting back out of the psychiatric ward or wherever he is. He's still getting out.
Yeah,
he's going through all 7
I think it
hells.
sounds like he's going in and out of them, but I think like the doctor was saying, like there's he can't keep him anymore because it seems like he should or whatever. I don't know. There's whatever the argument the doctor would be making to let him out, he's still probably grappling with. Because again, he's not out there hurting people. He's just hurting himself.
It's not a crime to cut your own hands off.
No,
it's not.
I don't think.
You can do almost whatever you want to yourself except suicide. That's illegal.
I'll assume that's state by state. There's
you
probably
can't get caught. Well, yeah,
probably like one state where that's illegal.
Right. You're probably no. There's many states where that's illegal. It's on the
board.
Don't
do it at work in front of your coworkers. That's
we have the right to bear arms, of course, but the taking
no
away
arms.
No arms. They don't mention that. Yeah. There's my joke for the podcast. This next track we got for you is composing, and the next several tracks, 1, 2, 3, yeah, really get us. Yeah, they all go kind of together. So here's composing.
It's all about the song in my head, the one where the audience is all dead. It's all about the song in my head, the one where the audience is all dead. It's all...
Yeah. Favorite part of the album, hands down. This chorus is just, it's got alliteration. It's got a good flow to it.
There is no way I realized what the subject matter of this song was in 2005 when I was listening to it.
No.
Not a chance.
It's so vague. This is one line where it's not as clear.
And it's such a beautiful and I don't know, haunting maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's such an awesome song.
Yeah.
God, this is great.
I felt like it, and you know what? My memory, I felt like this was strewn throughout the album. But it's really late in the album. This is track 9, but it feels like almost the theme of the whole thing, because this is what ties it all together. This is what he's been hinting at the entire album, but he's not kind of full on broken open, that it's literally a chorus in his head, a song in his head that won't stop, and this is one where when I was thinking, this is the one, right, that makes me think that he was maybe killing people. Okay, because this is one where he's, verse 1 here. These days they're allowing visitation in my rehabilitation to make these days mean so much more to me. I beg families and friends for forgiveness, and now the first time together we'll witness together the song I've been living incessantly. Oh yeah, so come sing with me through these poison pills and chemicals. I know that you'll lose something beautiful and brilliant. Release will be instant. I'm sorry, it's the only way. So, I don't know. Is he so? This song basically made me think he was inviting people over, like on goodwill, like, hey, I'm down on my luck, come help me out, come have dinner with me. And then he's poisoning people and killing them. But
so somehow he convinced the doctor to let him out.
Yeah.
And then somehow cooked all of these people dinner.
He's a good cook.
But he doesn't have any hands.
Yeah,
for a guy
he's
that doesn't
really
have
good
hands.
for a handicapped fellow with no hands. Yeah.
Not in a very great state of mind either, but he did cook them an edible meal with strychnine and paint thinner.
Which strychnine I googled, much to my
that's rat poison, right?
I googled it. I'm like, why did I Google this? I'm on a list now. Like,
you're on a list. You're on a list.
So I actually put a note in the Genius, telling what it is, so no one else has to do it. But yeah, it's a highly toxic, colorless, bitter, crystalline alkaloid used as pesticide, particularly for killing small vertebrates such as birds and rodents. So
toxic.
He's having people come over for dinner, pour wine and paint thinner. They'll convulse through the chorus.
Woo! We're getting hot tonight.
Like, this is like what I'm talking about. Like, so is part of this that he needs to kill a bunch of people to fill the chorus, to fill the audience before he can leave and ascend.
That's what we're going for? Oh my God.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's a cult leader is what you're saying?
Well, a cult leader of one.
Of course.
A cult of one.
But you're trying
I mean, I don't know. This is what I'm reading here.
He ends up
because he says,
this
on
is hard.
Every corpse I see her face, my love, my heart. So it's
he's re-killing to reconnect to his wife.
I think so. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Like he's got to recreate, which ends up building the chorus, I think. But
yeah, right. Like my heart breaks every time I dismember the flesh, hide the evidence, and start again. Yeah, no, this dude's definitely fucking killing people. I don't know what I'm talking. He's definitely
this bitch.
Murderer
confirmed. He's definitely killing people.
Yeah. I guess I just thought it happened before he cut off his hands for some reason. But no, he got
his hands cut off.
His
hands
now
he's vengeful against everybody.
His hands were not the problem. Like
he just wants everybody to die now. He lost his hands. Now people have to die.
Yeah, he made it way worse, actually.
It's so much worse
because no one suspects anything from him anymore. You know.
No, he
lost his hands. Yeah. He can't do anything.
Yeah, he invited me. I'm here on goodwill because he's my pal or whatever. Like we go back.
He lost his hands. I thought he needed some.
Great.
Yeah. I got to see how he's doing. I should definitely have dinner with him. Just to see everything's okay. And then he murders them. So like. It's like also he's not murder. It doesn't sound like he's murdering people that are like deserve it. This isn't a Dexter situation.
No,
this is
just murdering people.
Yeah.
No, and he covers them in her perfume. I don't remember if he says it.
Oh,
in this one.
That's right. Oh, because they do allude to the foul stench in the apartment.
Oh well,
I think he brings up the perfume. I don't know if it's in this one.
You have to do that. You can't exonerate yourself. Like you have to exonerate yourself. Gotta get somebody else for the blame,
Yeah. He's a problematic hero of the story, but yeah. The perfume. He threw perfume at the wall during his freak out in the earlier.
That's
track.
true too.
Yeah. So I think that's like a continuing thing that he's doing that I don't know, probably keeps him in the
state.
The state that he keeps him in his like altered state of he's fucked up, man.
Cool. I played this song at my wedding. Wow. We built our own. Well, we got married. Total aside, but we got married during the pandemic, and we did our own cocktail hour playlist.
Holy shit, you guys!
This song
fucking fantastic.
This song made the cocktail hour playlist, fully understanding the irony of the fact that he threw a dinner party and murdered all of his guests. But
yeah, that's badass.
They didn't know.
I want to go to your wedding.
None the wiser.
Yeah. The audience is all dead. Did you say the audience is all dead? No, I couldn't have. It sounds so sweet, this song. That was one of the best things about emo music, actually, was that you had like a few tracks where it was usually pretty like macabre like subject matter, but like they would throw out like these really awesome choruses and you know, you could miss it, you know. I think that's why it got into so many homes, you know, like it was like parents would hear it and they'd be like, oh, that sounds fine. And then like, lo and behold, it's all about suicide and, you know, harming yourself and stuff. Never mind. That's this next song is Disintegrating. No easy way to transition into this. That's like the emo pop punk breakdown right there. Everyone turns their guitars to 11. Gets the real crunch going on their guitars. Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed. You probably don't notice if you're not like looking at the song titles, but each song is a word ending in ing. So it's.
I did not notice that.
Yeah. It's really like obvious when you're looking at it, but when you're hearing it, it's not.
Because I was gonna say I noticed like the ascent and the descent part, of like the titles.
Oh, like what titles represent.
You know what I mean? Like I noticed that from the beginning, but like I did not notice that.
So I guess that means that they're all what's the word? First person perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're happening in the present, English majors out there. I love the song starts with "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here."
I love that. I wrote that down.
Like, wow, okay, all right. What I wrote down for this song is Gerard Way got nothing on this. Like. He's like known as like the, you know, the kind of macabre like guy in emo music. He always had the, you know, the kind of you know, skull and crossbones style and stuff. But like I don't think he ever got to a point of like this kind of deprivation of a character in his songs. You know what I mean? Like this is like full on like, you know, like Charles Manson shit, like some Dahmer shit, you know. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Dahmer, that's actually there's an album about Dahmer that we're doing soon.
Okay,
we're doing a lot of horrific stuff
that's
these couple of months, I guess. We're just gonna keep it going.
Well, we are going into spooky season. Let's go full bore, I guess.
Yeah. Spooky season's going long into. We're gonna just hold it out till Christmas at this point, I think. Spooky Christmas time. This is what is he talking about here? Oh yeah. For what it's worth, it's worsening, and my song demands an ending. Close your karma, can't control the beast I've born to swallow us whole. So he's I like this line here. Yes, my heart may beat again, but we all need medicine, so forgive me, love. I'm choosing a fitting end to the abusing. Which is, you know, like to give this album like credit, like it goes into this like deprivative, you know, this really hard subject matter, but like they're pretty clear about like who's in the right and who's in the wrong. And
he knows he needs to die right at this point in this.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, at this point, he's murdered a lot of people, and as tough as it is to say, it's not a horrible, it's damage control, I guess, at this point is what I'm saying, because it seems like he's going to keep killing unless he does this. So
Jesus Christ,
I'm sorry, John. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I just like.
When you started this podcast, I don't know if you knew it was going like this, but
I mean, I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones stuff, again. So it's like my brain's already on this like
a lot of psychopath shit going on. Yeah, that makes sense.
These people,
those Targaryens, we've seen all what they're capable of. A fitting end to the abusing. We'll talk about a fitting end to the abusing end of Game of Thrones.
No, this is just fucked up shit,
Yeah.
Gotta be killing people,
Yeah, right here he gets to like some what to do when you are dead shit, because he's like, last night I leapt through the ceiling. There's something appealing about leaving my body behind and coming through as you circled overhead. So this is like what's introducing more clearly the fact that his wife is singing to him from beyond.
Ooh,
like that's what he's hearing.
That's deep shit, man.
It's like it's kind of like the dad in Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, he's got the fucking dad in Shang-Chi virus. Like the dad in Shang-Chi was hearing their dead mother, and the dragon was reaching out to him. Weird.
Yeah, and I don't think I picked up on it before. The wife tells him he needs to kill the doctor. I mean,
I think the doctor. Well, no, because he does. She does say the doctor has to go, doesn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's very clear in the song.
He doesn't kill the doctor, though.
No, he doesn't. He definitely decides against that.
Yeah. He's not in a. He's not really in a place to do much when the doctor shows up. So yeah, I don't know. It's maybe you're tapping into something that there's like a sinisterness to this voice as well. And it's like everything else, it's not her. It is a false version of reality, and his I guess a manifestation of his guilt, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, this is weirdly where we get into the track Healing, which leads into the track Dying. So this is the end of Healing and a little bit of the beginning of Dying. Yeah. We'll get into 12 in a second, but real Deftones vibes going on in that beginning part.
Oh no, real Deftones.
Yeah, right. That was practically just a Deftones track.
Oh no,
followed by a Boys Night Out track.
When I heard this song, like I'll admit, like it went right back to like, didn't you want to hurt me not so badly?
Oh, I just watched that music video before we did this, actually.
I went right back to that mode again, like I've been talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's not great pop punk, but like it brings you right back to that mode.
There's a reason that we jammed on it, man. It made you move. And but yeah, the track Healing though, leading into that one is where it happens. This is where he finally, I believe he uses pills or something to end it, and he's
healing himself.
He's quote unquote healing himself.
He's getting a little cheeky again.
Yeah, a little cheeky again. Yep. Which is that's like kind of I guess, dark irony that's all over the album is that he sees this as like such a positive thing, you know. Like, yeah, at this point in his life, it's the fact that that's a positive thing is just such a distant, I don't know, so distant from where he started, I guess.
It's hard to tell whether it's like a moment of clarity or whether he's so devolved into whatever's going on, where he's like, oh yeah, I just need to die. This is what needs to happen.
Yeah,
it's done.
It's a real.
I can't move on from this.
Yeah, it's a real uncomfortable glimpse into that. That downward
mindset
spiral. Yeah, this actually. Yeah, again, Downward Spiral was another album that kind of made me kind of feel a little gross by the end of it because I was like, oh my god, like some fucked up stuff going on.
That was a rough one.
Yeah,
we've covered a couple of them.
Not a lot of albums that go there. You know, not a lot of albums want to go there.
I mean, and nothing makes a better concept album than
That's true.
Tragedy.
That's true. That's true.
What you think so hard, especially if you're a suffering artist. You know.
Yeah.
So hard about tragedy.
Yeah, and this was I know we talked about it off mic, but this is one of the concept albums I think that got me into concept albums.
Yeah, no, you were telling me that earlier.
Like this and What to Do When You Are Dead, and you know, not Ocean Avenue. That's a good one too. But Jack's Mannequin, Everything in Transit, where it's all about his cancer. A lot of the stuff at that time, like there was a lot of artists doing cool concept stuff, and I fell in love with concept albums, I think, because of this music. So I'm not even gonna worry about what people think about emo music anymore. I love emo music, and I am unapologetic.
No, listen. Emo music has, as we were talking about earlier outside, you know, emo music is part of the machine now. So everyone's going to be touched by emo music. You know, and then they'll go back and they'll see what actually was. You know?
Now let's calm down a bit.
The culture that we're
in. We can have our reunion tours and, you know, not.
Well, it's not even just that. The internet offers so many opportunities for people.
It was a real like
reintroduce
crazy,
themselves, you know, and that's great.
The MySpace years,
and it's great because they get to correct people themselves. You know, when these kids are wrong now. It's wonderful. I love it.
Although I will say, it's also a very canceled genre. If you want to look into some of that, but
that's true.
But you know, that's almost any rock artists in all time. So, yeah. This is tonight is the night for him on this. Oh, and then near the end of the song, that's right. He hears the doorknob turn. And that's right. So he needs, I guess, like the doctor is part of the song. Like the doctor needs to show up for this thing to end for him, I think. You know, and so, you know, he lets the doctor know that, you know,
it's just like
what's happening, and the doctor comes by, and then we get the song Dying. Here's the doctor's side of things.
He's not dead yet, but he's close. We've failed. This is my fault. And somehow, he's smiling at me. I think he's whispering something. No, not just whispering. I think he's singing.
Yeah, that gets into a really good section of the song too. But yeah. So it starts kind of similarly to how it begins, or ends similarly to how it started. That's what I was trying to say. And then at the end, he's singing the lines, I wear around violet wrists are proof that I exist, and someone call the ambulance because something's not right. So
there's like three. He's got like three choruses that are going back and forth there to end the song, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's a lot of I forget what that's called in vocals. Poly something vocals. I don't know. I just looked it up the other day because of Taking Back Sunday. Love it when those come together like that. And that it's the chorus of the audience singing, like he imagined he wanted. So it's all his like, I guess, victims singing to him and his wife. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking like explain, like actually just saying it out loud. It's just like, wow, this is. How did you think of this?
The reality of the scene is just him dying on the floor.
Yeah.
With like gangrenous arms, singing to a doctor.
Which is the cover, by the way.
Doctor.
Which is the cover of the album, by the way.
It's the cover of the album.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. It's right there. Just really, just wild stuff.
With
weird, wild stuff.
With like how many dead bodies in the other room were presuming.
Oh yeah, and we don't even get to that. Like that's like left just completely on the table.
Yeah, the doctor says, "Oh, it smells. It stinks in here. Smells like fucking perfume. But also like rotting flesh."
This almost needs like a second part, like Operation Mindcrime. Like this almost needs like a part 2 following just the doctor and after the events, where the doctor maybe goes through his own spiral. I don't know. Boys Night Out, if you're listening,
doctor totally go.
We take
the doctor is. No way he's okay after this.
No. The doctor is checking himself in
he
tomorrow.
Sees that smile. He's fucked up in the head now.
Well, yeah, because now he's gonna do the whole guilt trip like it was his fault.
Oh yeah.
Circle of violence or whatever. Cycle of violence.
Cycle of violence.
But yeah. Oh my god, I would kill for a part 2 of this. But it's weird. So, okay, one thing crazy happened after this played on my Spotify when I was picking clips. Like, the last track stopped, and then it faded right into the track, what was it? A Mind of Metal and Wheels by Gatsby American Dream, which starts with applause.
Oh, God.
So, like...
That's crazy, man.
And also, it is the album that I initially thought they were talking about in that thread in the emo subreddit. So, like, I had already like had these 2 albums mixed in my head, and then like it, yeah. So I put that one on the list as well because it's another great concept album, Gatsby American Dreams, Volcano.
Dude. That is so crazy, though.
But I took a step back from my computer for a second. I'm like, that's
and then it like started like when we went out for our smoke after like the run through.
It's like there's someone at Spotify that like knows that it's like it's weird and has like made it so like, hey, after this album plays, always play this track next. Like, you think
they need an applause.
Someone doing that? Like,
these guys need an applause, and this is how they're getting it.
Okay, if you're at Spotify and you are fucking with people this way,
that's awesome.
Please let me know. 1608 Hit Nerd. I'd love to hear from you.
That's awesome, though.
But yeah, it tweaked me out though.
That's great.
Yeah, I was like, wow. But so that's where it ends though. That's where our hero ends, guys. I know sometimes. We have a happy end. Even Downward Spiral seem to have a somewhat happy ending, but this one's full on. Like,
I mean, the guy chopped off his own hand. Things happen.
Yeah. It's a really good portrait of a serial killer.
Woo.
Honestly, it's just a really good portrait of a just really, Silence of the Lambs type
kind of guy that got like.
Killer.
Lost his hands and then got like knives put in, instead.
Yeah, he's cooking with his knife hands.
Killing people now,
he's
slicing heads off.
Fumbling with his wooden spoons with his knife hands.
Fuck people.
With trying to put rice in and stuff. We have and there's not much more to say, guys.
That's a wrap.
That's that album. Do you have any other notes before we get into the outro here? I feel like there's just a lot. But
no, I don't think I do.
Well, let us know, people. People have thoughts out there about this album. Let us know what you think. Give it a listen if you're a fan of concept albums in general. It is a really killer concept album.
This was some crazy stuff.
The last thing you do is we're going to go around and find out what everyone has been listening to and what they have to plug. I'll start. You guys heard what I was listening to. A bunch of emo shit right now, and I think I'm going to continue for a few more days. And as far as what I have to plug, I would say go on over to the YouTube channel we should have 2 episodes out of our new YouTube series called Music Movies Tonight. The Chris Gaines episode's been out for a while, and you can find our brand new episode with us reacting to the David Lee Roth's No Holds Barbecue.
Oh my god!
You're not going to want to miss that.
I'm actually kind of excited to relive that episode.
Right? Yeah, I'm excited to edit that thing. Wait, hold up. Never mind. I edited that already in the past. I edited a long time ago.
It's done.
Yeah. Not right now. It's not. Yeah. Never mind. Anyway, what have you been listening to, Sean? And what do you have to plug?
Recently, there was a band called Power Trip, thrash metal band.
Power Trip. Yeah, that makes sense.
The lead singer, I think he died in 2021, maybe a little over a year ago, or maybe it's a little bit longer. I don't know. I could be losing years. It might have been 2020, but some of his band members reformed a band called Fugitive, and they released an EP called Maniac a couple weeks back, and it rips. Yeah, really, really good.
Wow, that's really good that they're really cool. They were able to move forward, because that's really hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, and the music was awesome. I'm glad they're keeping it alive. But it's good shit.
Nice. And then of course, go check out the Killer Pod from Outer Space. Everyone,
check us out, Killer Pod from Outer Space. We release episodes every week, and we're either watching something or doing lists about stuff we care about, and usually drinking beer and having fun with it. So
yep. Yeah, and you guys have over 100 episodes, so you guys have a lot to...
Yeah, we're over 100 episodes now, and going strong.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice. And then, John, why don't you close us out? What have you been listening to, and what do you got to plug, if you got anything?
Oh, well, I've been listening to a lot of just radio play, the little 98.1, that's Delilah to national listeners at night, And there's been this like new Chicago song, and I've been like really focused on that because there's like 3 different beats in it from
a new Chicago song.
Yes, and there's like 3 different beats in it from like last 15 years, and I'm really close to tracking down what each one is.
Wow.
I'm like it because every time I listen to it, I'm this close though.
Okay. I'm going to fucking check that out.
Yeah. It's some crazy stuff.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Otherwise, everybody should just watch some She-Hulk. Watch her tour.
Yeah. It's over now. It was really good. I loved seeing Daredevil.
Yes. Oh, of course it is. Yes.
Yeah.
I was shocked by the ending.
The ending
shocked.
We could not have seen coming.
Yeah. Otherwise, just listen to us and watch our No Holds Barbecue bullshit.
Yeah. Watch the YouTube stuff.
There is no barbecue.
Yeah, there's no barbecue in it. That was the weird part. Yeah. That was the weird part. Yeah, not the whole thing. But thank you guys for joining us though for another episode. Thank you, Sean, for coming on the podcast. And we will see you guys next week on the Album Concept Hour. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and Jake the Snake Foster. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Join the discussion on our Discord, tweet to us at Album Concept Pod, or for everything else, go to Linktree/Flyover State Park. See you on Side B. This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.